Why are we doing
Why are we doing this?
Okay. Why are we doing this?
Why are we doing this?
It's a great question. I'm high right now, but we're doing this to be heard.
What are we trying to say?
Everything. What do you want them to believe?
I'm not trying to say everything. I'm trying to say something.
The most important things.
Yeah.
It's definitely.
What I think are the most important things. What do you think are the most important things?
Freedom.
Lack of stress.
You can deal with stress if you're free.
No fear.
No fear?
No fear. Absolutely no fear. Fearlessness.
It's one of your items?
Love that.
Okay. That's definitely a great trait to have. Everybody don't have it. I think we're all in need of it.
It's challenging though doing it without music, right?
No. There's other ways of expressing yourself. But music is definitely the preferred method.
I find it's more challenging because music, you can create an atmosphere if your voice is pretty dull. But if you're just speaking on your own and you have to create emotion, then you really have to start. For me, I was like, I had to get in touch with the notation in my voice. You know what I mean? Like, and really get in touch with each word in order for people to know that I'm feeling love, or I'm feeling anger, or I'm feeling fear. They have different tones. Speaking is, I realized by doing a cappella stuff or spoken word, that the human voice has a lot of tones, you know what I mean?
Definitely. I definitely invoke my opinion in my music, and I come across with such vigor at times that it becomes not what you say but how you say it.
Yeah.
And then when you say it a certain way, you get that intense reaction from people. Over time, you begin to fill those powerful moments up with powerful things that need to be said. And I think I've coined that and mastered that. Well, I am in the process. I'm in the process of mastering that.
I mean, my biggest issue is recreating the emotion each time in the same way. Like when I'm writing about the thing, it's affecting me then. And the emotion was perfect then, but then when you have to recreate that, it's a challenge because it's a derivative of something that's past, right?
Yeah.
So that's another big challenge for me, because I feel that you have to become a character actor. You have to get into, you have to relive that moment again, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's torture, in a way. If I'm remembering some bad shit, it's like each time I have to be exactly back in the same space again in order for me to be honest to the audience when I'm spitting it. Yeah.
But it makes for the best. It makes for the best stories, best songs, best spoken word pieces. It just, I think people relate more to sheer emotion. If they can feel where you're coming from. It's, it's some of the greatest people and greatest leaders in history haven't all been, Harvard guys and prestigious by any, it just takes that person with heart. However illiterate that man may be, he has the power to lead. He has that trait, and that comes from being a great spokesman and getting your point across.
Yeah. I think what pushed me into doing the spoken word thing was distilling, you know, taking all the additives away, all the props, and just celebrating the human being, the natural human being again, the natural voice, just the voice alone with its truth, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that when I spoke to the people around me that love me, and you know, the amount of depression that people are going through because we're all connecting to things that are not real. You're having relationships on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're putting out this kind of false persona about yourself, but you know deep down in your heart that you're not really having a relationship with anybody because you're fake. So the more you're on that thing is the more lonely you are, really, in reality. So I think the spoken word thing is coming back and it's just celebrating the average simplicity of a human being. They have a saying in Dutch, you know, and it says, be normal because normal is crazy enough.
That's dope.
You know what I mean?
That's dope.
So, and I think by stripping this thing back and claiming the Apollo 13 thing, you know, this kind of get back on the horse spirit, you know, if you crash, or if something has made you crash, or there's another human being in your life that's caused you some sort of error, that you should still believe that you have the right to go beyond the boundaries, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Outer space.
Yeah. Overall, what's the main message that you try to give people through your art?
That I'm optimistic, that I won't quit, that I'll take on challenges, you know what I mean? That it's okay, that you know, you won't be alone if you try to be unique. You may initially be alone, but eventually the room's gonna fill up with people that are digging what you're doing.
That is definitely true.
Yeah, man.
Definitely true. I was born in the city, sworn to the city, even though they say leave, you can't get on in the city. And I'm blowing like a chimney, trying to roll a zone in the Philly. Nigga flowing in my poetry is silly. You should roll with me, illy. Ooh, Willie on them twos. How you gonna kill me from the booth? How you gonna feel me on the truth? And not Weezy, not Jeezy, but Tree B, E.T. Homie, I don't change, I just be me. Flow like I'm insane and I sang like the B.G.'s. Shorties know my name, wanna be me. I tell them go to school, don't be me. Nigga, he's a fool trying to G me. We don't call them twos, call them ooh-wees. We don't go by rules, these is new thieves. If you's a goon, then who's he? Shit, my platoon got Uzis. Spit at your face in your new V. I'm 2 Tree.
Let me see. Oi. I had to write this. I hope it's fresh. I get sent emails with beats nodding, yes, do me, spill your feelings, let it be, don't care. Fair enough to say real is a rarity. If it ain't real, I lose me and I spend time a liar. Higher vibes to remind being new is a style, frightening but worthwhile, makes you hear DJs play the rated you. That's confidence. This rhyme must represent essence, you smell it, it's laced with it, no antiseptic can rid, cause it's the virus with a mission, if you twitching you infected. With moves to know you ain't no screw up, you're something with that ute spew that gets in you to want to renew your moves more happy, so clap. I'm tapping into my trap light beams to make your mind see I'm exactly a relative of the future keepers. Believe freedom writer. Hire me to spit vibes in teenage minds that are so cynical. You lost the opportunity to reason. I'm your last hope to reach him, so stop demonizing the poetic vents of medicine man that the living saying they should be dead. But I'm not. Role model. Plotting options, what can't I lose, I can't lose, so can't get lost. A winner cynic. But don't spill my drink in your disco, I'm not integrated yet. To me you're a prick that gets a fat lip I like to give, so I'm a poet that gets schizo and goes over the top if you make him go fuck it. But fuck what? my life? No, fuck that. I'd rather rap. Acting like I'm not a poet, they get a bonus when you discover the kid is. It's the shit, this deep shit on the synths and fat beats. The sonic crack hits your pleasure parts, man. Makes you want to take a long lick. Oi.
Oi. That's that sauce, man. That's that sauce. That's that dressing.
Apollo 30.
Stay in the seats for a second.
Yeah.
And just.
Yeah. Can you say that?
Oh, you want to switch up? Yeah.
So, how does that feel?
What?
Spot chairs.
Dunno.
Feels like Cadillac.
I feel like I put on some weight and he lost some weight. Because there's usually a lot of chatter going on in my head and it turned off. It was like the closest thing to heroin.
Wow.
Because all of a sudden, my brain was just all the chat that usually goes on, you know, about where I've been, why I shouldn't have been there, why this shouldn't have happened, why my opportunities are gone, and now I'm looking at my future and afraid of it. That's the usual stuff that goes around in my head. And when I was starting to worry about being intricate with words and rhythms and stuff like this, that stopped. I didn't realize it stopped until I stopped working on the stuff, and I was like, hey, I had some peace for a minute.
Definitely hear that. Definitely hear that.
About you?
I mean, what? What's the question? I've been lucky in my life, you know, and that's part of the things I choose to teach. You know, I choose to talk about, and get material from as much just life lessons learned, living for myself without having to hurt somebody, without having to sell drugs.
Yeah.
It just happened upon me, and in the midst of it, I told myself, this is probably a good thing for you. I know drug dealers that wasn't making the money I was making, and they constantly put their lives on the line and freedom on the line, in and out of jail. So it was just me being smart enough, and I was mature. So just picking the right roads. It ain't. I tell the kids nowadays, it's not uncool to do the right thing. It's not you're not a nerd because you go to school.
Yeah.
You're not. You don't have to be. Everybody doesn't have to carry a gun. Everybody doesn't have to sell drugs. Everybody doesn't have to have all the women. All those things make people do things to obtain those things, and which puts their freedom, their life, and their future in jeopardy. So I gained music. Music played a part of my life. It came out through me just wanting to say how I felt. Because I'd sit and my life was kind of different and unique in certain ways. Because I did get a job and get a career, but at the same time, I got 3 older brothers who, gang members. Different things that they do in their lives, and the rest of my family. So I could one day be in the projects with the hoodlums, and the next day I could be downtown with the CEO. And it just gave me a 50-50 view of the world. It kind of rounded me out. And that's what I can give to music.
I think the thing that flipped for me was what's pretty mainstream is that we can give ourselves a lot of misery. That's mainstream.
Yeah.
That's corny. Anybody can do that. And I have this natural fighter's instinct. I like challenges. And all of a sudden it just hit me, there was more of a challenge, and it was more interesting to try and stay in joy, in a feeling of joy and happiness, than it was to stay in a feeling of anger. So now my life's really interesting because I'm prone to anger.
They still might piss you off.
Yeah. I'm prone to anger, you know what I mean? So every day is like, I wake up, I'm like, I got something to do. Maintain joy. I got something to do. And it's a tangible struggle. I feel it. When I go to bed at night and I'm going, man, I didn't clench my fist today. I didn't insult anybody. You know, you understand what I'm saying? And then to actually realize that the meaning, why was I born? I was born so that when anybody says my name, their heart feels better. If you think you're born for any other reason than that, you're a sucker. Because that's what you were doing the minute you were born. Are we supposed to get more intelligent? So how the hell, when we got older, did we come away from what we were doing naturally as soon as we came out of the womb? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's arrested development right there. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, let me go back to the real meaning of what, even when you're dead, your name, your legacy can still give warmth to people's hearts.
Yeah.
And that's something that nobody can take away from you. Because my whole thing, I've always been rebellious and angry about, you know, the shit end of the stick that I thought I had. You know what I mean? But now I'm like, I can really rebel by making sure that my name, because statistically, there's a system set up for my name to cause misery and have people go, him. The system's set up for people to forget about me and think that I'm a piece of shit. But to fight that system is to perpetually have people just, every time they think about me or my image or what I do, that it warms their heart. That's my challenge. And that's something that I want to teach my children. Do you know what I mean?